Arsenal are losing the Moussa Diaby race to a certain team, and that is Man United. And that is Simon Jones of the Mail Sport confirming to us that that's the current situation happening into the camp of Arsenal and Man United over Moussa Diaby. But I'm going to come out and obviously reveal to you what my thoughts are about that deal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. The transfer window was opened on the 14th of June 2022, and here we are as everything is really panning out as it's supposed to be, and teams have gone ahead to really start serious talks with players, especially Arsenal. You've seen a story today when they're interested into Kai Havertz. United have gone ahead to make a bid of Mason Mount. So it has started on a high. We don't know whether it's going to end on a high, but it looks like it's really heating up. Then we are discussing Richarlison coming out and revealing to us his love for Real Madrid. It's another one that we're going to discuss about. And Nicolò Barella to Newcastle. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and really thrown a lot of highlights onto that transfer. So let's see close to 200 likes. Smash this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we thank God for the gift of life, because today is when the Premier League fixture is going to be announced. That's it. The Premier League fixture is going to be announced today, and I'm going to be coming in through when it's out to really reveal to you that first 10 games of Arsenal, 10 games of Man City, 10 games of Chelsea, 10 games of Liverpool, and 10 games of Man United will be revealed onto the other sister channel known as United Matters channel, where we go ahead and really do our stuff. So you now know what we're going to be doing down there. So let's start it off like this, right? Mail Sport. Sorry about that. Manchester United have taken pole position in the race of Moussa Diaby, with Arsenal also interested. Manchester United are interested in signing Bayer Leverkusen Diaby. Leverkusen want around £65 million for the 23-year-old, long linked with Arsenal and Newcastle. That is Simon Jones coming in from Mail Sport. He added on and said, Arsenal have been linked with the move. Sorry about that. Arsenal have been linked with the move for Diaby this summer, especially with Leverkusen interested in Arsenal's Granit Xhaka. However, Arsenal's priority is a midfielder at the moment, with Declan Rice and Moise Caicedo their main targets. So Arsenal, Moussa Diaby. Now, I would like to throw some hints coming in from the camp of Man United that I don't see United having interest in Moussa Diaby. That's it. And let all the hearts of Arsenal fans calm down. Why? Moussa Diaby can play as a right attacking midfielder, but United has Anthony. They have Amad Diallo, who had the decent season at Sunderland, is returning at Old Trafford, and there is a possibility of United getting back Mason Greenwood, meaning that they're going to be having 3 players playing to that position where he really plays in. Then there is even Jordan Sancho, who showed us that towards the end of the season he thrives better while he's playing as a right attacking midfielder or a right winger at the club of Man United. So I don't see any worries for Moussa Diaby to come in at Man United, and Ten Hag isn't in need of any winger because United are really having lots of wingers. When you look on the left, they're having Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, Anton Martial also play that side. Ten Hag is in need of 2 centre forwards, 2 central midfielders, and a right-sided centre back with a goalkeeper. That's all what Eric Ten Hag is really in need of. But for Moussa Diaby, I don't see him coming to Arsenal. However much there might be scouts of United doing some research on him, but I don't see him coming to Man United, as United is really so much focused on getting players like Mason Mount, Rabiot on a free, Kim Min-jae, right-sided centre-back. Then they've pulled out of the Hurricane deal, and it's all about Rasmus Højlund now that they are chasing to get at the club of Man United. So Arsenal fans, may your hearts really get calm. But even if your hearts are really getting calm, I don't see Moussa Diaby coming to Arsenal, if at all Arsenal get the deal of Kai Havertz over the line, because Kai Havertz is a Premier League proven player, and obviously talent-wise, he's a more better talented player than Moussa Diaby. Premier League proven, he's a winner, and he really has what we call the attributes of the Premier League. And if at all you are given a chance to sign Kai Havertz or Moussa Diaby, even if you are an Arsenal player fan, you would go out and really choose for Kai Havertz. I understand Arsenal fans really have there is a portion of Arsenal fans who really love Moussa Diaby, but he's not proven. However much Arsenal are trying to sell Granit Xhaka to Leverkusen, but that won't guarantee them to go ahead and really get Moussa Diaby, because if at all they are to get Kai Havertz, they get Moussa Diaby onto that, because Moussa Diaby is charged expensively, £65 million, yet at £50 million Arsenal can get in Kai Havertz from Chelsea, something that Mikel Arteta finds interesting for the club of Arsenal. So I don't see him joining Man United. I don't see United being in the pole position for this deal. I don't see him coming to Man United, because in all the positions that he plays, United are really fully packed. That's it. They are really fully packed. Right attacking side of the midfield, you're having like 3 players to play that side. Left attacking side of the midfield, United has like 3 players playing to that position. So I don't see why United can go ahead and obviously spend time on signing or chasing for this man, Moussa Diaby. So I don't know what sauce was for Simon Jones, but I don't really understand why I'd go ahead and put out a story like that, because I don't see it happening anywhere. That's it. I don't see it happening anywhere. That's it. So let's wait and see how that is going to pan out. But Arsenal losing Moussa Diaby, Chase or rest, I don't really find it genuine, according to me, unless otherwise things change. But the way Erik ten Hag is really planning his team, there is no need of him to get in a right attacking midfielder or a left attacking midfielder. If at all it was Marcus Thuram, I would have said yeah, because he plays as a centre forward and Ten Hag needs one and he's still made for the Premier League. But Moussa Diaby, lots of question marks onto the Bayern Leverkusen player, and there is no way United is going to spend £65 million onto a player like Moussa Diaby, yet they are really having a lot of quality in there for you. And Arsenal also looks like they are bending off Moussa Diaby, a player they've been interested in for 2 summers. For the previous 2 summers, Arsenal have been linked to Moussa Diaby. Even the January transfer window, Arsenal was linked to Moussa Diaby, something that shows you how good the player is. But they've got a chance to sign. They've got a chance to sign Kai Havertz. And even last season, Arsenal were just monitoring Moussa Diaby, and he was like a 6th choice when it came into those left-footed right wingers. They had Rafinha on their list who went to Barcelona. They had Pedro Neto. They had Yeremi Pino. Which other player? And they had Leroy Sen. So those were the players that Arsenal were really eyeing to bring one of them through at the club of Arsenal. But Moussa Diaby, it ain't happening. If at all they get Kai Havertz, then it will be out. It will be off totally. And there will be no reason for Arsenal to get in a player like Moussa Diaby. So let's wait and see what developments are really going to come in through on this channel, and we promise you that we're going to bring you everything that really happens on this deal. Now, let's go to the Nicolò Barella story. I love this player. I love Nicolò Barella, and stories from the Premier League have really indicated that Newcastle have gone ahead to really show interest in Nicolò Barella. Eddie Hoy is really an admirer of Nicolò Barella, and he has found himself in a position of obviously showing huge interest into the player. And now, this night, Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to drop a very huge update about Nicolò Barella to Newcastle. He has confirmed to us that Inter have not received formal approach or bid for Nicolò Barella. Newcastle have genuine interest, as Telegraph called, but nothing is advanced at this stage. Inter sources feel 50 million pounds is nowhere near his valuation, and also agree with Barella on personal terms. Also nothing agreed with Barella on personal terms. Now, if you don't know Nicolò Barella, let me take you a little bit about this player. He's one of the best central midfielders in the world currently. He's insane. He's one of those that you would love to play for your team. He's just 26 years of age. He plays for Inter Milan, and he is Italian by nationality, 1.75 meters tall. And obviously, when you look at his stats last season, he played 12 Champions League games and scored 3 goals. It shows you the quality that he has. He played 35 Serie A games, scored 6 goals and 6 assists. Those are 12 goal involvements plus 3, those are 15. Then Coppa Italia 4 games, and obviously 0 goals. But when you look at Nicolò Barella, he can really play for you in very many positions. He can go in as a CDM, he can play as a box-to-box midfielder, and he can play as a central attacking midfielder, meaning that if at all you sign him, you'll find yourself in a position of obviously solving position that midfield. Even when Bruno Guimaraes gets an injury or gets a suspension like he did, they find themselves in a position of obviously putting Nicolò Barella into that position to play in there. So 50 million pounds coming in from Newcastle to Inter Milan is really little for Inter Milan, and they don't really believe that it can really tempt them to really sell Nicolò Barella, who has just gone ahead to really renew his contract at Inter Milan, and it's expiring in 2026, meaning that he still has how many years? 3 years on his contract, and he's being valued at 70 million euros. That is like 62 million pounds. So a fee that could tempt Inter Milan to sell Nicolò Barella is obviously close to 60 million pounds. So if Newcastle can add on more 10, maybe they can sit and negotiate. But you know how weird the market has really become, that even if you're having a player like Nicolò Barella with his talent, a team can now call out for like 70 or 80 million pounds, because players like Jude Bellingham have just gone to Real Madrid for 100 million euros. So they'll call in for more, and they will go ahead and really want more as Inter Milan. But it will be a very good addition for Newcastle as they really vie for the Champions League title, as I understand, because one will say, Rokani, how would you say they're going to vie for the title? Remember Leicester City? When they won the league in 2016, in 2017, they reached the semi-finals of the Champions League. So, if they get in Barella and they're having Bruno Guimaraes in that midfield, trust me, they can go ahead and really put up a battle against any team in the Champions League, because they're going to improve their midfield further and further and further. Look at Alexandra Isak, St. Maximin, Callum Williamson, Willock, Amaron, and very many others. They are really good players. And Anthony Gordon, they just signed in January from Everton, is really a very talented player that can obviously pick up. If at all they really have a very good pre-season, and that group of players really gets together to see to it that they really get in the best that they deserve, they can hurt any team. Let it be Madrid, let it be Barcelona, they can give it a very huge level of understanding this. So, lastly, Richarlison playing for Tottenham Hotspur. He has been asked about Real Madrid, and this is what he had to say. Of course, every player wants to wear the shirt of Real Madrid. It's the biggest club in the world, but I have a club, a contract. I have to prove why they bought me for the right price. So, he has shown his interest in Real Madrid. Remember his former coach at Everton? Everton, Ancelotti, is the manager of Real Madrid, and is one of those players that they've been looking at. But after having a very horrible debut season at Spurs, he has found himself in a position of not being nowhere wanted by Real Madrid. While still at Everton, he had all signs of really exploding, but when he came in at Spurs, he has gone ahead to score, I think, only 2 goals in the UEFA Champions League and 1 goal in the Premier League. That is really very horrible for a player of the status of Richarlison, who is the number 9 of Brazil. And however much he has shown his interest for Real Madrid, and we all know that most of the players that come in from South America obviously love to play for Barcelona and Real Madrid, and they see them as the biggest clubs in the world. But for him, he might not find himself reaching those levels of obviously playing for Real Madrid unless otherwise he finds himself in a better shape. But even if he goes ahead and really does that, Kylian Mbappe has gone ahead to throw into a bombshell, and obviously he is one of those that Madrid wants, and if at all PSG doesn't sell him this summer, he's going to move out on a free, meaning that Madrid need to come out and react, and a price tag of 150 million euros have been put on Kylian Mbappe, putting a stop to Madrid's look at Harry Kane, Richarlison, and so on and so forth. So, your thoughts on to Arsenal losing Moussa Diaby are welcome to the comment section below. What do you make about it? I've given you my views. As a supporter of United, I don't see them going in for Moussa Diaby. He has no place to play at Man United. Then, Nicolò Barella to Newcastle. What do you make about it? And lastly, tell us your thoughts onto the Richarlison's admiration for Real Madrid. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living God protect you abundantly. I'm out. See you later in the morning. And I think it's going to be a story about James Maddison as Chelsea are trying to go ahead and really sign this English international. Ciao, ciao.